Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great evening. It was cold last night. It was like 5 or 6 degrees when I took Henry out, and the wind was blowing 15 gusts to 25. And glad I have the right kind of gear to get out and walk in that, as Henry does. Of doubt. Okay, we open today with financials lower. The reason financials are lower is that equities around the globe outside of China are higher. Yesterday's FOMC minutes, they talked about no interest rate increase between now. First time it would be a possibility would be April. That didn't help the markets. They just kind of stood there. So after our equity markets closed, Charles Evans picked up the mic and said raising interest rates would be catastrophic. And our stock market exploded. Japan's, Hong Kong's, and Europe's did. China was the only market that sold overnight. So again, the Fed wants the stock market sideways to higher. It's the one bright spot in the economy that they can point to. And they're going to do everything they can to keep it up. And they'll do it through outright purchase of securities. They'll try to do it by picking up the mic, and they're very, very effective. Remember Bullard, when the stock market was selling in the fall, picked up the mic, and that the market was off a little over 7%, I believe. Don't hold me to that number. And the market rallied to new highs off of his comments. So Evan picks up the mic yesterday, and the stock market explodes. So the direction of the ES today will be primal. We've got jobless claims coming at 8:30 Eastern, 290K. I don't think anybody pays a lot of attention to it, so we're going to probably trade sideways to lower today as the markets trade into tomorrow's non-farm number. Also, they'll be announcing the 3, 10, and 30-year auction for next week, and the market tends to sell into those auctions and it rallies back up off that. So there's a couple of factors that should make it all sweet sideways and make it slower. Yeah, I'd like to sell 7 to 11, and I put it down as our sell 1, but this 4 leaning against this number right here could be the number. So our sell zone could be 3 to 7. You know, yesterday we stretched. We actually were able to get off a trade at 11. It took a while to get there, so that's where we are. We've talked about this breakout from 27. We've got a London low right here. We've got these single prints. So there's best supports down here in this 24, 28, but we have yesterday's low at a half that might be support. So I've got our first buy at 29 to 01, going to give it a little bit of room. Would like to get that done against 28 if possible. So I like that 28 number. And then we'll put the second buy down at 21 to 25 for buy 2. And we'll see what happens. Don't think we have a lot of news today that will shake things up. There's a lot of minor news that comes out that can give us a feel about sentiment and how the market, the consumer views the economy, what kind of layoffs we're going to have in major corporations, but we don't have a lot of big news that'll hit the tape today that'll shake things up or potentially shake things up. Okay, you cannot ignore the impact of the central markets. European banks speak today, I believe. Bank of England. I didn't see a specific announcement for the European rate, but it's usually the first Thursday of the month. And I didn't see if that was up today or not. But when Draghi the mic at 8:30 Eastern, usually is when he starts his news conference, the currency markets can move big time. Okay, as far as terrorism goes, there's different stories out that one of the gunmen has been killed. Last night, a couple of them were captured, one killed. This morning, the only hard headline we've seen is that one of the gunmen yesterday has been captured. I don't know how to impact things in Europe, but people don't understand that we are at war with militant Islam, and there's only one outcome. It's our conversion to Islam, or our death, or their death. And this is round 5 war that began in 640 AD, and it continues. And most Muslims are not the problem, but those 10 to 15%, the militant Muslim is, and they're everywhere. So that genie, at some point, things will get so bad that genie will be stuffed back into its bottle. But that day's not today that I can tell. And, you know, the sad thing is that most of the people killed by these people are not Christians, Jews, Buddhists, Confucians, atheists, agnostics. It's Muslims. They kill Muslims for the most part, and I make no bones about it. In addition to destroying other religions' churches, they also destroy mosques. So they're at some point the world will deal with this problem, but it's not today, in my opinion. Okay, same situation in the bond. I think we got a lower bias today. The volume is between 12 and 16, so 11 to 15 is sell 1. That's pretty aggressive, but the knob spread has come in quite a bit overnight, so we know they're selling here. On the buy side, we can open it up 01 to 29. And again, we may be thinking it may take a 5 to get. I don't know. Just a lot of it depends on the news and the E-minis reaction this morning, and 21 to 25 for buy 2. Okay, taking a quick look at gold. Equities rallying would take some of the buying enthusiasm out of gold. It won't kill it. Pretty good support in this 1200, 1205 like we talked about yesterday. Pretty good resistance, 20 to 25. It's about a $25 range. We had buyers 5 to 7 as we guessed last night. So we'll keep that buy 1 and then 1200 for buy 2. On the sell side, let them get stops above tonight, so 15 to 17, pretty aggressive, but and then 20, 22 for sell 2. Okay, today I got a question last night on these software trades about fill in the details. And again, your trades are yours, but what we'll do is I'm going to get you started today, probably after the 10 o'clock update. We'll take a look at the market of choice, and we'll show you how to develop trading targets and how to come up with a trading plan off of that. Let's see if we can't speed the process. Okay, a lot of money has been poured into oil ETFs, specialized funds, mutual funds that concentrate on oil. Some $220 billion they figure have gone into those markets right now because the price of oil is down and contrarian investors are stepping up. And again, the price of oil has been cut in half quickly. stocks have suffered, and this is the time that you should be out buying these stocks. Will you time the bottom perfectly? No. Can oil stocks be down for a year or two? Yes, they can, but you're not overpaying for them in a historical sense. So people have started to feed money or equity into these markets, and they see the price of oil is fundamentally too cheap right now. And that can impact commodity prices too. So we've got a round number up here at 50. We had 49.50, 75 was rejected last night. That was one of our sell zones, our number 2 sell zone. And we've got a buyer at 48.50, which is where the volume was. So we're at 49.05. So letting them get stops below the overnight session low will make 25 to 50 buy 1. And then 48.75, which 47.75, which is where we were yesterday for buy 2. On the sell side, it is resistance, 49.25, 49.50, sell 1, and then 50 plus or minus for sell 2. I like the sell against 50. Why? It's 50. It's a pretty round number. And I like the buy against 48. The reality, and the big people, the smart money, the long-term money knows how much it costs to drill and how much it costs to extract and bring crude from the ground to the gas pump. And they're telling us that 50 bucks is a pretty fair price for crude oil right now. I'm not saying it can't go lower. I'm just saying that people see value, and that tends to cut off the selling in the futures markets too. Okay, the E-mini got, not the E-mini, got whacked again. It took out 118. We love the short side of the market. We thought it was going lower. We had a sell yesterday coming out in the 60 to 70 area. The high was 50, and the low is 1761. So again, 1750 is a round number, so the 1750 to 60 will be buy 1, and then our 20 to 30 for buy 2. Like I said, I didn't see a specific time for Draghi to pick up the mic. I didn't see a specific central bank announcement for the European Central Bank, and I don't know if New Year's held that up. There was a specific meeting and announcement for the Bank of England. So 1800 is resistance. So 95 to 1805, sell 1, and then our 15 to 25 for sell 2. Coming against that volume number over there. And 115 is within reach. I see no reason that given some time that we don't go down to 115. Hard to believe that kind of a devaluation, but you know, it's like 15, 17% right now, and gonna get bigger. Why would anybody invest or put money in Europe? What's going to turn that currency around? Central bank policy? No. Economic strength? No. Interest rate differentials? We pay more money in the United States. So you borrow from Europe and you put the money where you can earn more money. And so it gets down to economic growth, like Fitz said, and when will the economies in Europe start to grow? That's the whole issue. And right now, doesn't look like it's going to be the first quarter of 2015, or first half of the year. Germany's numbers have been better than expected. And it's still the United States, Germany, and China are supposed to get the rest of the world through economic softness and weakness. Losing the energy sector in the United States is significant for the United States growth numbers too. That's where all the growth has really come from the last couple of years. And lower oil and energy prices, once you get past your electric bill, is helpful, but it may not be enough to bring growth to the United States. Okay, to everybody's favorite market, the E-mini. Go back and take the long-term chart. Okay, this rally, you know, this is 100 plus points. That's about a 5% correction. And that's well within the norms of a normal market. So the Fed wants a trading range minimally with an up bias, and they're going to do everything in their power to keep it that way. And they don't screw around. When they don't get the action that they want, somebody picks up the mic and talks about it. And we talked about Bullard in the fall. Now we had Charles Evans yesterday pick it up and say it would be catastrophic to raise interest rates now. Charles Evans is right. The Fed can't raise interest rates because of what it does to the debt picture and to what it'll do for the economy. So they're stuck. They could talk about raising them. They could have a maybe, you know, raise it to 0.5%, maybe 0.75. And there's one story out there that the Fed will raise interest rates this year, show that it can be done, send a message out there, see what their action is. Europe and Asia with their quantitative easing is where the market support will come from right now. And then when that stops working, the Fed will come back in and cut their interest rates. That scenario has some plausibility with me. Okay, right here we got a low volume number at 22, so this 20 to 25 is probably pretty good support. We've got this breakout from 25 right here. We have a high volume number in the 35 area, which is where we're kind of trading right now. So maybe we've got pretty good support 25 to 30 and pretty good resistance 40 to 45 as we start off structurally. So buying against 25 structurally is probably the easiest trade to see off of this, and then failure to take out the overnight session high would be the second one. Large institutions will be sidelined today, awaiting tomorrow's FOMC, not FOMC, but non-farm payroll number, and that's forecast to be friendly at 245,000 for the indexes. So resistance 40. So our first sell is 40 plus or minus. If we can't get through that, we want more. Our second sell will be 45 plus or minus. We definitely have a P. I think the first trade is to get long. So we got volume at 33. This 35 to 33 will be buy one. And 30 to 32, which was this area right back over here, will be our buy two. And we'll see how the markets develop. Today, historically or traditionally, is kind of a do-nothing sideways pause day as the market awaits tomorrow's non-farm payroll numbers. Take at least 20 minutes to get everything up and posted. I'll be back at the top of the hour, maybe a little bit before. In the meantime, good trading. I'm going to get busy getting everything up on our sites, etc.